All right, everybody. Shalom. All right, everybody. Shalom and welcome. So great to be with you. All right. So great to be with you. Shalom and welcome, everybody. Why am I hearing myself? Hmm. Why am I hearing myself? What's the technical reason for that? I'm not sure why that is. Is there some kind of audio that's in the background? I guess not. Now it's gone. Okay. Shalom, everybody. Why is what is that? Do you guys hear me twice? Why is that? Oh, okay. I figured it out. It was my Instagram was also playing back. Well, okay. Now it's no longer playing back. It's great to be with you and not to also hear myself twice. It's fine to hear myself once, but hear myself twice, that's too much. I want to thank, first thing before we go on, I want to thank my producer, Yo, for being with me. Yo, I think we should change the name of the show to, right now, the title of the show to Hadar Goldins' Body is Back, because that has now been confirmed. That Israeli hostage body of a soldier who fought already years ago and has been held hostage in Gaza for very long is now back. I think we might want to consider changing the name of the show because we're talking about the militants. Yo, what do you think about that? Should we change the name of the show? I think so because that's like a big deal.
I will change it right now.
Yeah. Ask our beloved colleague what he thinks, but I think that's the bigger deal right now. That Hadar Goldins' body has returned. We're going to get to that in just a second. Before we do, I just want to say shalom. Woo! It's Sunday evening here in the good land, in the land of Israel. I'm so happy to be with you. Where are we? We are in Judea, heartland of the Holy Land. We're broadcasting from south of Jerusalem, close to Bethlehem, close to Hebron. This is the heart of the Jewish story, the Bible lands, and we are broadcasting from here. We are a much besmirched, much maligned, and much attacked Jewish people, and yet we survive throughout the ages because we're connected to God, because we have an amazing story that's supposed to bring light to humanity. And so I just want to say to everybody, shalom. Come on, everybody. Let's get into it. A little shalom. Come on, I want to hear a little shalom from you. Shalom. Shalom. Oh, my gosh. Nothing can stop us. We are back in this good land, and I'm just such in a good, I'm in a good mood to be here with you. Let me ask my camera to track me, and we're doing it. We're doing it today together. Here, see, for example, this person right here understood what I mean. Child of God says, shalom. And I say right back to you, shalom. That's right. There are many bad guys who don't want to say shalom, but you are saying shalom. Moreover, I want to say to you that this week is the busiest week in my calendar. Week usually, calendar year, and it's the busiest week in my calendar year because it's Shabbat Chaye Sarah. It is the Sabbath of the life of Sarah, which is a heading for a Torah portion, and that Torah portion is about the purchase of the tomb of the patriarchs and matriarchs. That's a burial place for Sarah. And Abraham purchased it 3,800 years ago for 400 silver weight. The Torah talks about it. That's awesome by itself. But what else is awesome is that 40,000 people are scheduled, if not more, maybe 50,000 this year, to come and join us in Hebron. It is an awesome Sabbath, and I'm excited. My producer is going to be there as well. My mama, Bezrat Hashem, is going to be there. My wife and family are going to be there. I'm excited to do it. We do it every year. It's hard. It's challenging. It's crazy, and it's awesome, and it's a biblical festival unlike any other. So I am excited to share that with you. Today's show, we're going to have a lot of fun. We have a lot of good people. Oh, look at this. Ahmed Zarug says, go back to Russia. Why don't you go back to Arabia? Okay, go back to Russia. I was only in Russia because the Jewish people were kicked out from a land by the Romans. And now we're heading back to our homeland It's called Taking Up Our Indigenous Biblical Historical Rights. And the Fakistinian story can go back to where it comes from, which is Arabia, Egypt, Syria, etc. Recently, my good friend, the Green Prince, the son of Hamas, Musab Hassan Yusuf, wrote a great tweet. And that tweet, he writes, what is Palestinianism? It's like a whole hodgepodge of borrowed narratives. Flag, total copy of the Jordanian flag minus the star. Name, Romans gave the Palestinians their name, Palestine. It's a totally fake name that has nothing to do with it other than the ancient enemies of the Jewish people. Arafat, he's from Egypt. The whole thing is a hoax. So Ahmed, thanks for joining us so much. Ya Ahmed. Ya halan salan, ya Ahmed. Please, don't be a silly guy. You know perfectly well. It is our land. The Quran says it. Allah wills it. You're welcome to Jews. It'll be a barakah. It'll be a blessing for you. What is this? What is this? Go back to Russia. We're leaving Mother Russia. You know, we had a song, Ahmed. We had a song. It was called "We Are Leaving Mother Russia. We have waited for so long." We literally have songs about finally leaving Russia to come back to our homeland. And you want me to go back? Yeah, Ahmed. Please, respect. It's not respectful the way you're talking. It's not. Go back to Russia. You go back. Allah ma'ak. Okay, yeah, good. I'm sure that there are many other good commentators, but Mr. Ahmed, he doesn't get it. Okay, well, you know what? You don't have to get it because Allah wills it. Now, my dear friends, I want to remind you there are so many wonderful commentators, so many wonderful folks joining us from all over God's beautiful world. Please remember that a great way to support the show and to get your beautiful comments right. Look at this hair. Look at these beard hairs. They just want to stick out and fly around. Whatever. If you want to join the conversation, look, beard hair on my shirt. What's the deal? Anyway, if you want to join me, then you are welcome to through something called Super Chat, which is related to the English Super Chat. Super Chat. You can chat with me, and it's very super because when you chat with me, it helps me super chat. I get to pay producer, pay the editor, and blessing for me, you know. So you bless me, I bless you back, promise. So you can help me by doing super chats. That's really fun. And that's great stuff. Now, let's talk about the big story, folks. The big story is the return of Hadar Goldin. Let's turn to the folks at ILTV to give us a quick update about that story.
Turned what it says is the body of IDF Lieutenant Hadar Goldin, who fell in battle in Gaza in 2014. The remains were handed over to the Red Cross at 2 p.m. local time and then to the IDF. Prime Minister Netanyahu addressed the handover earlier today at the government's cabinet meeting.
חמאס הודיע אתמול שהוא מחזיק בגופתו של סגן הדר גולדין, זיכרונו לברכה. אנחנו אמורים לקבל את הגופה היום אחר הצהריים. זה כמובן יתחיל מיד בזיהוי, וידוי הזהות שלו. סגן הדר גולדין נפל בקרב גבורה במבצע צוק איתן לפני 11 שנים. גופתו נחטפה על ידי החמאס, שסירב להחזירו בכל התקופה הזאת. בכל התקופה הזאת עשינו מאמץ גדול בממשלות ישראל להחזירו, כמובן תוך כדי ייסורים קשים של משפחתו, שעכשיו תזכה להחזירו לקבר ישראל. אנחנו אמרנו בתחילת המלחמה שאנחנו נחזיר את כל החטופים, בלי יוצא מן הכלל. נחטפו 255, זה כולל גם 4 שנחטפו קודם לכן, ואנחנו החזרנו עד היום 250, אנחנו נחזיר את כולם.
So I just want to say about that, first thing is welcome back home, Hadar Goldin's body. It has been verified along with his body. Also, his weapon has been returned, which was found in Gaza. It's been returned to his family, and the body was transferred to the Forensic Institute of Medicine for identification, and indeed now it has been positively identified. Welcome back to the land of Israel. Hadar Goldin, and may your return be a blessing to your family and give them some consolation. And certainly his return has brought consolation to so many of us. So Baruch Hashem, I'm very happy and thankful that Hadar Goldin's body has been returned, certainly. But one thing I want to say about what Prime Minister Netanyahu just said, he said that we promised to return all the hostages, and then he enumerated the hostages. But he missed a few. He miscounted some of the hostages. He missed a few because there are other hostages. We haven't counted them properly. There are other hostages. The first hostage is the Gaza neighboring communities, the Gaza envelope communities. These guys have been hostage for a long time. Will we allow them to fall into becoming hostage again of the Gaza Hamas war machine? So that we got to make sure that never happens again, that there's no more hostages. But there's one more hostage which Prime Minister Netanyahu did not enumerate, and that hostage is the land of Israel. Gaza is held hostage by Hamas. Gaza. It's our land. It's the beach property of the tribe of Judah. We've held it 5 different times, the Jewish people, throughout history. We must demand a return of that hostage, the land of Israel. When we don't think of the land of Israel as a living creature, when we don't think of the land of Israel as ours and to have pain at the fact that it's not in our hands, we're not really being Jewish. We're not really being real. The land of Israel is a thing. It's an entity. If you ever watch Star Trek, then you could think of the land of Israel as this unusual entity. It has a personality. It has a soul. It has a relationship with God. I can prove it to you through many verses. The land of Israel is a living thing, and it is held hostage by Hamas. We must demand a return of the land of Israel, not just the dead and the people of Israel, the hostages, but the land itself is being held hostage. And so we must fight to return it. We must fight to return the hostage that is the land of Israel, and that is one of the hostages, the 256th hostage that Netanyahu did not enumerate. And that's a mistake. That's a mistake on Netanyahu's part. And when we allow the land of Israel to be hostage, then we're okay with even other people controlling it. Qatar, Turkey, even the United States. These are not the true husband of the Gaza Strip of the land of Israel. These are not the true loves of the land of Israel. The true love of the land of Israel is the Jewish people following the way of God, the path of God on that land. That is true land husbanding. That is true loving that land. And so we have to yearn to end the foreign occupation of Gazan, so-called Palestine, and Hamas on our land. They're holding that land hostage. We have to free it. We have to liberate it. And we have to start the process of becoming Liberation Nation. Today we celebrate the return, We're thankful for the return of Hadar Goldin, who was killed in battle. And we can't be, just happy with, okay, the people are back, now we have peace. No, there's no peace. There's no peace while there's a Hamas in this world. Period. Okay? And it's not like they don't want peace with us. We should never want peace with them. We should be just as ruthless as they are and say, we don't want this evil in this world. As long as they're around, we can never have peace. We have to destroy the enemies of Israel. We have to liberate the land of Israel. We got to keep this war going. This war is an opportunity to destroy our enemies. Let's keep going with ILTV.
Hamas claimed over the weekend that they had uncovered Goldin's remains, releasing video footage of the recovery of several bodies from a tunnel under Rafah, which the terror group says was located in IDF-held territory. Last night, IDF Chief of Staff Ayal Zamir visited the Goldin family at their home to update them on the latest developments. The Goldin family, which has campaigned tirelessly for Hadar's return over the past 11 years, then released a statement saying the entire country is awaiting for Hadar to be returned to us, and they urged everyone to remain calm until that can be confirmed. Earlier this morning, Israeli officials criticized the delay in returning Goldins' remains. Hamas announced that they would return the body later in the day. Goldins' return has become tied to the fate of some 200 Hamas terrorists still hiding out in tunnels below Rafah in IDF territory. The U.S. is reportedly pressuring Israel to allow the terrorists safe passage back to the Hamas-held area of Gaza. Zamir is said to have recommended this only happens after Goldin is returned. Some Israeli ministers have opposed letting the Hamas terrorists walk free under any conditions, and the militant wing of Hamas has said the terrorists in the tunnels would not surrender themselves to the enemy and that the mediators would have to find another solution for the ceasefire to continue. President Trump today will host Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara at the White House. It's the first official visit by a Syrian leader to Washington in nearly 7 decades. The two are expected to discuss several regional issues, including security arrangements between Syria and Israel that are now being directly negotiated between Jerusalem and Damascus.
All right, first thing before we go on, I just want to make sure that the sound is good. I had some sound issues beforehand. So, by the way, in general, my beloved friends, if you hear a sound problem, please let me know. Let me see if it's better now. I made some changes. How does it sound, yo?
Yes, now it is good. Thank God.
Yes. Baruch Hashem. Should I do my whole rant over? For God's sakes. Live TV. It's the greatest. It's the greatest. Let's keep going and see this guy. Let's go back a little bit and see this story here. Right. So we said Hadar Goldin's body is returning today, and that's a big blessing for the Jewish people. It's a great return. It's a great coming back of our hostage. We talked about the fact that the land of Israel is also a hostage. And Sandra writes very correctly, any news yet on the death penalty? She's so right. You are so right. And you know what? If you remind me, Sandra, I'm going to talk about red states and blue states. Will you remind me later, Sandra? Right after this segment, I want to talk today about red states and blue states and where Israel fits into that. And before I go on, I also want to thank Oak Tree for sending us a super chat. God bless Israel with €1. That's already great. That means that somebody from Europe is blessing us. That's already a good piece of news. Who knew that? So thank you very much. And Bassem Al-Rafati says, brainless, stupid Jew. Thank you, Bassem Al-Rafati. You don't like it? You don't have to stay here. Really waste of time for you to watch Brainless, Stupid Jew. Brainless and stupid at the same time. So thank you very much, Bassem Al-Rafati. It's not a coincidence that he's got an Arab or Muslim name. It's just totally, coincidental that all the people are writing bad stuff. Teresa Manaro says, one sick bunch who holds onto dead bodies. No, that's not sick. They're just using the techniques that we've taught them that work. It's very simple. Okay, let's go on with the story of Hadar Goldin.
To continue. President Trump today will host Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara at the White House. It's the first official visit by a Syrian leader to Washington in nearly 7 decades. The two are expected to discuss several regional issues, including security arrangements between Syria and Israel that are now being directly negotiated between Jerusalem and Damascus. Shara's visit comes just days after sanctions still in place against Syria, including the U.S. officially revoking Shara's status as a designated global terrorist, were finally lifted. At the White House...
Isn't this the guy that gave orders to mitalize the Druze? Isn't this the guy that gave orders to torture, abuse, and kill the Alawites? Isn't this guy? Wasn't he former Al Qaeda? What's going on over there at the old Trump house? What's going on over there? I mean, is the Qatari money like whitewashing all these folks? Is that what's happening? Do you think that it's whitewashing them? Check this out.
Shara, a former member of Al Qaeda, is expected to sign off on Syria joining the U.S.-led global coalition to defeat Islamic State. And in a short video posted this weekend by Syrian's foreign minister, President Shara is seen playing basketball in Washington this weekend with the top generals of U.S. Central Command in the Middle East, including the CENTCOM commander, General Bradley Cooper, showing he has come a long way from Al-Qaeda in a very short time.
He has come a long way from Al-Qaeda because he can hit a free throw. His 3-point outside shot is so good, though it seems a little bit edited, right? But that means that he's no longer a jihadi, because jihadis don't have 3-pointers. It's well known. Jihadis are fine at layups, but they don't hit the 3. When you hit the 3, you're definitely a long way from what you were before. I mean, the sound of that is just so preposterous and stupid. It's just amazing to me. And you know what else annoys me? What else annoys me is, do you want to tell me that they hit every shot? Like, come on, what kind of leader is that? You see, that's the difference between Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. In Judaism, our leaders were fallible, right? And they missed layups and they missed things. They were great men, but they had faults. But you see this Julani / the Americans, they don't miss a shot. Look at this. Look at this. Did they miss the? He's going to miss the shot. He's going to miss
Hamas
it.
today returned.
No, the bottom line, they don't miss it. According to ILTV and according to this video that they sent, they hit every shot. Well, to me, that is not somebody I'm not going to go after this guy. If he's going to hit every shot, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If you showed me fumbles, stupid misses, I'd be like, this guy's a real person. Okay. That's right. Christians are being killed in Syria. We'll talk more about that a little bit later, about where Arabs are being killed. You know what? Let's talk about it right now. My good friend Mansour, the Druze, has something to tell us about what's happening today to Christians by Muslim hands these days.
Reveals that more people died in Sudan in the last 10 days than the entire 2 years war on Gaza. 10 days, let that sink in, by the Muslims, simply because they're Christians or because they're black. 10 days. Even Al Jazeera had to admit that this is happening. Heck, because you can see the blood stain from the moon. Satellite images are showing blood stains of entire villages, mass graves of women and children. Let that sink in. 400,000 humans massacred during the last 2 years, 2023 to 2025. That is the exact time frame of the October 7 war on Gaza. And that is why, if you are a pro-Palestine and all about the children in Gaza, and you're not a Palestinian, then you are an NPC, a cog in the matrix, a dimwit, an easily manipulated adult. Heck, a 5 years old will be less easily manipulated than you. You're simply told who to hate, when to hate, and why to hate. I'm sorry, but you don't get to handpick the suffering of innocent children just because it helps your Instagram feed look better. You don't get to handpick genocide just because it's trendy and it will bring you more followers. Massacred by the Muslims just because they're Christians or because they're black. 10 days. Let's talk numbers. 2.5 million humans died in Sudan 1983 to 2005. 300,000 humans died in Sudan in the Darfur genocide in 5 years, 2003 to 2008. 400,000 humans have died in Sudan by the Muslims simply because they're Christians or because they're black. 2023 to 2025. More humans have been butchered and massacred in Sudan by the Muslims in 10 days than the entire war on Gaza.
Okay, so that's Mansour Ashkar, and he says it poignantly. Everybody knows that the world doesn't care about the death of Arabs, the death of Christians, the death of anybody. And in Israel, in America today, you got all these conservatives being like, yeah, Israel's involved in a genocide. What are you even talking about? We're defending ourselves from jihad. There is a genocide against Christians happening in Sudan. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's really sick. It's really sick. You know how it is. These numbers become just a number. And so many people just don't care. How How do we get ourselves to care more? How do we get ourselves to care for what we want to care about and not what the media tells us to care about? Let me give you another example of what the media wants to care about, and we should not fall into their lies. Check this out. This happened today. Just before I went live today, I went on I-24, and they asked me not about Israel defending itself from jihad, not about taking up our land and liberating it, but rather about the renewed old blood libel of settler violence. Let's take a look.
According to these reports to Haaretz News, they stated that when the reservists tried to tell some of these settlers, "Hey, I'm an Israeli. I'm a reservist. I'm just here. Please stop the violence." They said this is what you do for abandoning your brothers. Once again, just some of the reports of what we've seen this weekend, but an indication of also what we've seen over the past month since this harvest began in early October. According to the United Nations Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, they said on Friday, before these incidents even took place, 264 settler attacks reported during the month of October, the largest since 2006, since they started recording some of these incidents. So we are seeing, it seems, an uptick. But once again, the IDF did respond. They did confirm that they had instances of Israeli settlers committing these violent attacks against Palestinians. And in both of these different incidences, it has been handed over to the police now further investigate.
All right. Well, I'd like to turn to Yishai Fleischer, now the spokesman for the Jewish community in Hebron. Yishai, we've seen these shocking images. They're circulating around the world from these clashes. What is your reaction to what happened over Nablus over the weekend? And, to the allegations that we're seeing an uptick in extremist settler attacks over the month of October?
Yeah, it's a classic kind of provocation by so-called farmers, but oftentimes folks paid by the Palestinian Authority, which we know pays terrorists. We know they pay murderers that are sitting in our prisons. So they also pay farmers. They pay folks to come close. Lands that are state lands, Jewish controlled. They come close. They endanger Jewish communities there. Not violent settlers, not extremist settlers, but rather extremist jihadis posing as farmers, trying to endanger our Jewish communities. And people are responding sometimes, most of the time, IDF responding, most of the time, police responding and dealing with this provocation. The other question is, the whole report that I just heard now, you said that the only information that you have is from the Palestinian Authority, again, the folks that pay murderers, or from the UN. Let me remind you that Gazan, every UNRWA school had in it jihadist rockets, missiles, arms, and terrorism that led to October 7th. So you have two organizations, the UN and the PA. They're reporting this. Of course they're reporting this. This is part of their blood libel. This is part of their way to besmirch Israel. Oh, Israel is hurting the innocent Palestinian farmer. We've heard this narrative. It's a blood libel. It comes around every time this year. And yet the army is not saying that there's an uptick in violence. The police is not saying there's an uptick in violence. And so therefore these reports are to be seen as very questionable. And we do have, Israel has police and army to ensure security, and they do. So let's just call it what it is. Provocation, not an uptick, and police are handling it just fine.
It's interesting because, there are critics who say that the Israeli government is essentially not doing much to actually tackle this issue of extremist settler violence. They say in the response overall has been pretty much lax. As somebody who lives in the West Bank, what can you say about that?
I can say that the language of extremist settler violence, I would turn that to the heroes that are holding on to Judea and Samaria and pushing back on many kinds of jihadism. There are many kinds of jihadism. October 7th is one kind. Land grab in Judea and Samaria is another. Hamas is the strong ideological entity here in Judea and Samaria, in what you call the West Bank, what we call the ancestral homeland of the Jewish people. And so you have young heroes holding on to state lands that the local municipalities recognize, pushing back on elements that want to destroy them, that want to do an October 7th on them. And to distinguish between what happened in Gaza and what's happening in Judea and Samaria
is illogical, because in reality, these are the same forces. It's the same Hamas. It's just that they dress up as farmers now, just like they dressed up as UN workers or media workers in Gaza. They're dressing up as farmers and attacking. Now, if there is so-called violence that comes from the Jews that has crossed the line and is illegal, guess what? We've got a police and an army to deal with it. And there's nothing lax about it. There's nothing lax about it at all. Israel takes the law very seriously, but we have to remember who the enemy is. The enemy is the jihad that wants to destroy the Jewish state, and they want to do it piece by piece, destroying the Jewish communities in these places. And the Jews holding on there are indeed heroes. All
right, that's Yishai Fleischer, spokesperson for the Jewish community in Hebron. We're turning now to...
Okay, so, you just wonder sometimes. You're like, this was Israeli media, and they're the ones that are buying into and selling you this whole thing, this whole narrative about settler violence. And then she uses this term about this ancestral ancient Jewish city, Shechem. She's like, Nablus. She doesn't even say what the Arabs call Nablus. She just erases Jewish history by just saying Nablus. Nablus. Oh, yeah, where's Nablus? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I erased it like the Romans erased the Jewish name. I'll just say Nablus. Nope. Nablus is the Roman Neapolis. Neapolis, new city. Okay, fine. There's a Roman name. I don't deny that it's there, but we call it Shechem. Say it for what it is. And just buying into and selling with the images also. They're not showing you jihad images. They're just showing you some images. You don't know for sure, but the blame is being cast. It doesn't matter. The blood libel is being promulgated by our own people, by our own channels. And that's what's so sad and so sickening. But thank God they gave me a chance to push back and to tell them the truth, which is the Jewish people living in the land of Israel, in the heartland of the land of Israel, are the heroes. And we're going to get bigger. We're going to grow this land. We're going to make it flourish because we're the true husbands, lovers of this land. And our nation belongs on this land, and jihadism will be pushed back. You want to get a sense of it from history? Look at the book of Nehemiah. Or in Nehemiah, just see how the bad forces want to push back the Jewish people, and we're back and we're building. All right, before we go on, first thing, I just want to thank good folks that are blessing us. Here's blessings from Germany by Rolf Weber. Thank you very much. Sending in blessings. Stay strong and moral. No problem, baby. We're going to do both of those things. Thank you very much, Rolf, and you are a blessing, and I'm sending you a blessing back. And there are other people who are sending us blessings, including Samuel Good. Okay, she says, or he says, let's call on Hashem to send the Messiah soon. Absolutely. But you know what? In this show, we don't just call on Hashem to send the Messiah. We're working on it, baby. We're working on it. We're not waiting for other people. We're not waiting for God to do everything for us. He waits for us to move ahead. And then he's blessing us and giving us strength. And then we thank him. And finally, another blessing from Questions to Know 662. Countering the hate. Thank you very much. And I'm sending you blessings. All right. We do a lot of politics on the show. We do a lot of Bible on the show. But it's time to do some human interest, Jewish interest. And the question is, can we do awesome events and event planning in the land of Israel? Because I got married in the land of Israel. I was living in America, but I wanted to get married with my beloved wife, Malka, in the land of Israel. That's where we wanted to get wedded. By the way, when my father passed away in America, we wanted to bury him in the land of Israel. It's a life cycle thing. And thank God we were able to do both of those things. And to have our children in the land of Israel, to have celebrations, to have bar and bat mitzvahs, to have weddings, B'ezrat Hashem, with the help of God, to have Brit Milah. There's so many events that you want to share with with friends, with beloved ones, with family, and to do it in the land of Israel. What an awesome experience it is to get married here. What an awesome experience it is to bring your friends to enjoy in the majesty of Jerusalem or Tel Aviv or any other place. Well, one friend of mine who does a great job at creating events here, she's a master event planner. Her name is Adina Mark Capone. She is the founder and executive creator behind A to Z Events in Israel, a boutique luxury event planning company specializing in destination weddings, bar and bar mitzvahs, and curated travel experiences across Israel, right? It's like destination weddings in Israel. For over 15 years, she has crafted elegant, seamless, which is a big deal in events, and deeply personal events for clients from around the world, combining creativity, organization, and genuine care. Originally from the Jewish settlement in the occupied lands of Long Island,
Adina made Aliyah with her family and raised her children to serve, love, and contribute to the country of the land of Israel, the state of Israel. Alongside her work, she's actively involved in Zionist and community initiatives that reflect deep connection to the land of Israel and her passion for bringing people together in meaningful ways. Okay, Adina, welcome to the show. Thank you so
Hello,
much for being
hello.
with
Nice
us.
to see you. Thank you. Thanks for having
Okay.
me.
So fun. So fun to have you. And you know why it's fun? Because, you know, on this show, I deal with all kinds of hate and all kinds of lies, but I don't get to share what I really on the day-to-day really feel, which is like how awesome, how beautiful. I just want to tell you before I ask you a question. I leave work a lot of times, especially during sunset, just so I could drive during sunset because I love it so much. It's such a beautiful place. So,
Right.
Adina, tell us a little bit about event planning in the land of Israel. Is it crazy? Is it doable? What's the deal?
Well, of course it's doable. It's more than doable. It's highly recommended. The people that contact me who want to do their special events in Israel are from all different backgrounds, Jewish backgrounds and levels of observance, and from all different areas of the world. So it really has like and different political spectrums as well. It has nothing to do with level of religion or observance or politics. It's just the land of Israel that all Jews love from all over the world. And so they might want an incredible view in Jerusalem. They might want a beach in Caesarea. They might want some forest somewhere like near Tel Aviv, all different locations for all different events. It's very highly recommended. I mean, in general, in the event planning world, destination weddings are very, very, very trendy. Destination weddings and bar and bat mitzvahs, by the way, are very, very trendy. But coming to Israel is always in style, always a trend, always something that we recommend people to do and that people are always interested in doing. And I'm constantly amazed at the perseverance and connection that people have, that whatever's happening here, no matter what's going on, if they're canceling flights or not canceling flights, rockets flying, not rockets flying, people don't stop. They want to come. They want to be here.
Well, let's talk about the rockets and the cancellations. Israel was basically blocked off from, like, it was very hard to fly in the country.
Yes.
And tourism went from 4 million to 1 million.
Yes.
Did that have an impact on your business?
Sure. It had a huge impact. It was a very hard hit. And, you know, me and all tour guides and all destination event planners living in Israel have had a very hard hit. I've been doing this for 15 years. I've been through other wars, intifadas, Corona, and other situations where the situation, you know, leads to people either needing to cancel their flight or being canceled for them. Or, you know, I really respect people's emotions and feelings when they just don't feel right about it for whatever reason about what's going on here. And time again, I'm just always impressed and amazed by people's perseverance that, okay, we'll postpone it. We'll come back. We'll do it another time, or we'll just keep on going anyway. We'll do it anyway, even if it's a little bit smaller. I had one mother who said to me in February of 2024, so it was only a few months into the war after October 7th. And it was really the height of the war. There was a lot of bad news coming out of Israel and out of Gaza. And she said, even if I'm the only person standing watching my son read from the Torah, I'm coming. We're coming no matter what. Whoever wants to come is going to come and be with us. And people did come. People really did come.
Let's watch a few videos that'll give us a sense about the stuff that you do.
Great.
All right, that was a short video. Let's see a longer video. Hold on one second.
That was another kind of event that we didn't mention, which was
What did you say, Adina? Sorry, I didn't catch what you were saying.
That very short video that you saw was a different kind of event that we didn't mention before, which was bringing in a Sefer Torah, to an army base, and it was in honor of their son's bar mitzvah. They wanted to not only celebrate, but they wanted to share their celebration with our holy soldiers. And so they brought a Torah to their base in honor of the bar mitzvah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's good stuff. You see, you make it so much more meaningful. You make it so much more meaningful when you include the soldiers. You know, my son had a bar mitzvah at the Tomb of the Patriarchs and Matriarchs in Hebron.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the big things was to do stuff for soldiers. And in the end, we had the whole event and it was great. And it was like midnight.
And suddenly this whole group of soldiers came and they lifted him up and they danced. We danced for 20, 30 minutes with these soldiers in the middle of the night. There was not a guest there. And it was just the most memorable thing in the world. Let's keep watching the video. That video. Hold on 1 second. Let's do it. Okay, so that was Lily, I guess.
Yeah, so one of the great things about the video that you just showed is great for your viewers or your listeners from overseas, so that they see that even coming to Israel, the parties that we can make here are on par, on the same level as what they get from or what they're used to seeing back home. The only difference is the meaning of the location. And like you said, sometimes we bring in some very special kind of effect or project that is connected to Israel and connects them to Israel. So even just having it in a meaningful location, it changes everything. But the fun is still the same, and the kids get all the great activities and all the standards that they're used to and what they're used to having from their friends back home. They don't feel like it's like anything less.
Right. Okay, I have another one video to show. Let's see if we can get with this one video out. Jerusalem wedding.
Okay.
Okay. So, when I used to do hotels, I saw this kind of thing. I saw like that sometimes they would have grandparents bring in all their grandchildren. That reminded me of what I just saw. I just saw like everybody come into Jerusalem from all over the world, and they came to this one place. And they
and in this case, they this is not your typical, bride and groom that you normally see. These were both of them were grandparents with their own big, large families, and not all of them live in Israel. So they just decided, like, we're starting this new chapter of our life, and God brought us together at this phase of our life, and they felt so blessed that they said, like, no matter what, everyone's going to come here. Everyone has to, and it has to be in Jerusalem, and that's just how they felt in their heart that it needed to be. And people came in from all over the world and from all over the country, including their children and grandchildren. And it was very, very emotional. And it was exactly what they wanted. The emotion of Jerusalem as well as the emotion of the wedding.
Okay. I love it. And that was a great little video there.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about what's the most likely event that you're going to come from outside of the land of Israel. Now, you also live with people who live in you work with people who live in the land of Israel, right?
I do have a small percentage of my clients are Anglos usually who live in Israel, who as you know, a lot of Olim come here, people who make Aliyah, and they're from, their language is what they feel comfortable speaking, so they look for people who speak their language. So I do have a small percentage of people who live in Israel, but mostly my clients are coming from abroad, mostly.
Okay. And what is the easiest of the events to do? Is it going to be a bar mitzvah? I know that, like, I have friends, they bring bar mitzvahs here and then they bring a whole bus. Or is it a wedding? Like, what's the most likely thing to do? But then again, weddings, you want to really, you don't want to miss kind of being with your family. So you don't want to, like, have people skip it. What's the deal?
What do you mean, easy for them to do or easy for me as the planner? I think that it's, there's pros and cons. Obviously, like I do have a lot of clients who tell me, especially for the bar and bat mitzvahs, that whatever they're doing here, they are planning on doing something back at home, so to speak, like, so that, more of their kids' friends will be at the celebration. Because, it's not like the situation where they're having a bar bat mitzvah where they live and then there's like 50, 60 kids who are coming to their party. It's not like that here. Here, it's usually a really, a melting pot of guests, like their family who lives in Israel and the friends who live in Israel and some people who did fly in and some people, and it's like really a mix. And so actually it's a challenge a lot of times to find the right, entertainment and location and vibe for like such a mixed kind of a crowd. But a lot of people do say that they make a little something, whether it's something in their temple or like a little party for their kids' friends. A lot of people do something back at home. And most of my destination wedding clients say, whoever wants to come can come, and whoever doesn't. This is what I'm doing. This is my dream.
Right.
This is what I want, and this is what's happening. And
Right.
They're lost if they can't make it.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying some people canceled, but some people didn't. Did it anyway, right? And those people, right? They were like, they'll never forget it, right? They came in a time of war, right? They came in a time of conflict.
Can't even describe to you the meaning and the depth and the emotion for anybody who came in the last 2 years and did an event here. Everyone
Give me a story. Give me a story. We love stories here.
Well, that first story that I mentioned to you, which was like early in the war in February, we did it was a bar mitzvah and it was a whole weekend, a Shabbat in the hotel. And at the same time that we were there was some donor or someone, a philanthropist who wanted to treat the hostages' families to have a beautiful Shabbat, to like a fancy hotel. And they had programs and speakers and a whole bunch of things going on. So little did we know that the entire hotel was filled with hostages' families. And Of course, we recognize all of these faces, as we all did here in Israel. And it was like, oh my gosh, like, oh, this was like, it was so emotional and it was so special. And somehow, in a very Israeli way, somehow we made a contact and connection with the person who was running this Shabbat for the hostages' families. We contacted them and said that the family would be so blessed if they would want to come join, if they can say Mazal Tov. And they did. A lot of the families came and they were part of it. And one of them got up and spoke. I mean, not a dry eye in the house. And these people who came from Brooklyn, New York, never in a million years thought that they were going to sit in this fancy 5-star hotel in Jerusalem, Israel, and hear live in person from a hostage family that was going to touch them so deeply.
Wow.
You can't plan that and you can't pay for it. It's just something that happens in Israel. It's a very, very Israel moment. And there was a lot of moments like that in the past couple of years for people who came.
I'm going to ask a silly question. Jerusalem or Tel Aviv, desert or Golan, Eilat or Hermon? Like what's your favorite? What do you think works best? What do you say?
For bar mitzvahs and bat mitzvahs, I say Jerusalem. Weddings.
Okay, so bar mitzvahs, you say Jerusalem. Why?
Yeah, bar and bat mitzvahs in Jerusalem because they came to Israel for a reason. Like you came for a connection and you came for meaning. I mean, unless it's somewhere else, but like Hebron, like you said, like at the Cave of the Patriarchs. I'm actually doing a wedding there in the next in the beginning of December. I'm doing a wedding there. It's that's rare, I have to say. It's rare to do a wedding there, but for sure for a bar mitzvah, I would say like, yeah, pick some place that in and of itself, it has a feel and has a meaning and it has a purpose and gives you like the answer. Why did we come here? Why did we come to Israel to do the bar mitzvah? It's right there when you look out the window. And that's what I would say for bar mitzvahs. And for weddings, I got to tell you, weddings, I feel like, we have like a mitzvah to make a bride and a groom happy. And so that's what my goal is. It's to make them happy. So if the bride wants the beach, babe, go to the beach. It's okay. You're still in Israel. It's still beautiful. You came and you're here. And even if she wants a beach and she doesn't want to be in Jerusalem, that's still good. So whatever the bride wants, that's where it should be.
Okay, good. Okay. And what, like on Caesarea or
Love
Netanya?
Caesarea. Yeah, I've done Netanya. I've done Caesarea. Caesarea has, look, when people do destination weddings, usually they want a vibe. They want an atmosphere. They don't usually just want a beautiful venue, even if it is very, very beautiful garden and, even like a Netanya beach, like you said. Usually they do want something like Caesarea or like Jerusalem, so that does have that built-in meaning and feeling that they want.
Right.
That's the truth is. That's what they usually do want. Even like the Jerusalem Hills. There's like in the Jerusalem Hill area where you have these incredible, magnificent, breathtaking views where you see the skyline of Jerusalem and you see the beautiful hills that they know have so much rich history in them. Even that is very, very popular. And I'm a big fan of that for brides, for weddings.
So, okay, first thing is I want everybody to have your email. There it is, Adina at A to Z Events. When I first read A to Z Events Israel, I was like, Otazoy, like the Yiddish, like Otazoy. Is that what that says? Otazoy Events, Otazoy. Oh, that's I was like, oh, I see. But then I was like,
yeah.
oh, A to Z Events Israel. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So that's really fun. Are there a lot of weddings coming up? Or people really like? Is that happening in the near future for you?
It's coming back, Yishai. It was tough. It was very, very tough. Even with all the perseverance and dedication and connection. When you're planning a wedding, it's not even so much like, do I feel safe? And are there going to be rockets in the middle of the chuppah ceremony? And are we going to have to tell our guests and our family to go run to the shelter? It's even like broader worries than that, which is like, what if we plan everything and it's going great and we booked it and we're coming and like a day before or a week before
something happens,
rockets start flying and we have to cancel. So,
right.
You gotta understand those people. So there was a lot of cancellations, definitely for weddings. You can't really postpone a wedding, or rather Jews don't really believe in postponing weddings. So we really try not to do that. Bar mitzvahs did a lot of postponements and toning down what they did with fewer people. And weddings are going to come back. They're starting to come back. Like I just told you, I'm doing a wedding in a couple of weeks in Hebron next to the Cave of the Patriarchs. They are unbelievably devoted.
Please. It's Cave of the Patriarchs and Matriarchs. It's mamas and papas.
Matriarchs. Sorry. Yes.
Please. That's. I've been fighting that battle very hard. So please, I'm asking you guys, Cave of the mamas and papas. So first thing, we got a question. Arya Fried 26 writes, is she hiring? Are you hiring for
be in touch?
Be in touch through email, okay? And then we got another person writing, the bride is the land of Israel, and the groom is the Jewish people who will gather back in their biblical homeland, Israel. All right, so there's people really feeling that, absolutely. And let me ask you this: I have a lot of non-Jewish listeners as well, lovers of Israel. Do they come ever to? Have you ever done an event for Bible believers, lovers of Israel from around the world?
I did 2 weddings for Christian. One was Catholic, one was Christian, and I did 2 weddings. One of them was actually they wanted to be married in the Holy Land. So they technically were married already, but they wanted to do like a renewal, so to speak, of their vows in the Holy Land with a rabbi. So we did that for them. It was beautiful at their hotel in Tel Aviv on the beach. It was beautiful, and their children were there and everything. It was really a renewal of their vows. And I did another couple, just a good old-fashioned first-time wedding. And I have another couple that I've actually 3 couples where one of the couple, I think 2 out of 3 of them, it was the bride who converted. One was a Japanese bride, one was a Mexican, where they were from, and they converted to Judaism, and all of their family who came were not Jewish, but they were so excited and so supportive, and they came and they celebrated and they danced and they joined in, and they couldn't have been more excited and giving and open to this. And it was very, very beautiful and very emotional.
Okay, so non-Jews are welcome to come and do an event in the land of Israel. You don't have to be a citizen. You don't have to,
Most are not citizens. Yeah. Most of my clients.
Right. I'm just giving a thought to people. Like, you can do your event and you can do your special event in the land of Israel. And Adina is one of the great folks that can make it happen for you. And let's just talk a little bit about costs a little bit, like venue, music, photography, flowers, and the extra stuff.
Okay.
Like, how much should a person, be prepared to spend to do, I don't know, a bat mitzvah?
Well, they should probably be prepared to spend per item almost the same as what they would spend at home. Some of, like everything else in Israel, some things are more expensive here and some things are less expensive here, right? You want to buy Nike sneakers or American cornflakes, it's going to cost you double what it costs you on the shelves in America. But when you go to a restaurant or you go buying your groceries in the shuk, it's significantly less expensive. So similar here, some things are more expensive and some things are less. The difference in coming to Israel is you have the added expenses of your travel and hotel. And usually, that people don't just come for the party itself and the celebration, but rather we help them arrange for multiple days of touring and adventures and living the land a little bit. So that's an extra added expense.
So basically touring, seeing more of the land.
Sure. And also all kinds of adventure, like all kinds of activities, like, when a bar or bat mitzvah group comes here, we don't want to just be boring them with a tour guide taking them from site to site. So we have a lot of different ideas for different activities that really connect them to Israel and teach them about Israel.
Jeeping, shooting, what else?
Right. Well, jeeping and shooting is fun, but even graffiti paint, going on a graffiti tour in the streets of Tel Aviv and learning about the different neighborhoods there and the history behind them, and then becoming a part of it. Or sand duning down in, Mitzpeh Ramon in the south, and seeing the Ramon crater and learning about that. Like all these kinds of things. We also do things where there's interactive activities. Sometimes it's volunteering. Sometimes we go to a place like Shalva, which is a home school for children with special needs. And they'll have a basketball game together with the kids from Shalva. Or again, related to the war.
Wow. You're playing basketball with special needs kids in Israel. It becomes part of your memory, part of your experience.
Exactly. It really connects them to the land. And especially, like I said, especially with the war, a lot of things connecting to the war. We went to a lot of different bases. We invited soldiers to come. We had one bat mitzvah girl who was very important to her to especially include and celebrate the female soldiers, the women soldiers. And so we found an incredible base that was very cooperative and available. And they sent over 40 female soldiers from their base, and the women together with the girls and the family from the bat mitzvah, they decorated and made beautiful candles for Shabbat that everyone was able to take home and have a candle for Shabbat, which of course we know, when a girl becomes bat mitzvah, it's very significant. It was very, very special and beautiful way of connecting them to the land. And we try and do that a lot.
Adina, thank you so much. Adina Mark Capone, she does great events. She's the founder and creator of A to Z Events Israel. And I really do hope that people that watch this will consider having an event in the land of Israel. It really is something that will stay with you forever. The mayor of our town told me one time, he said to me that in his wife's family, they have a saying, tragedies, they come by themselves. Simchas, joyous events, you have to make. And so you have to make those joyous events. You have to make that, and that's very important. And the other thing I want to tell you is that one time, I remember I was speaking to a family, and they were about to have a bar mitzvah in Israel, but then some terrorism happened, and then they decided to cancel. And I thought to myself, little Joey, little Joey was going to have an event with the Tomb of Rachel and with the Western Wall and with the Martha Machpelah, the Tomb of the Patriarchs and Matriarchs. And that was going to be something that was going to be part of his life forever. But instead, the enemy scared this family. And now Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and Donald, they're going to be part of this kid's memory of his bar mitzvah because he went down to Florida instead. And it's just not the same. So we really have to persevere through the fear and overcome and come to the land of Israel. And everybody is going to thank you for it. They will complain and moan and groan, and they will thank you for it that you brought them to the land of Israel to make a really meaningful event. Am I right about that?
Yes. Every time a family comes, they are just they feel so blessed. They feel so excited. They're so invigorated. And it usually is a trigger that they come again and they come more often and they want to visit. They come once, it's not enough. They want to come again and again. And it really brings an incredible connection. And I love that that's part of what I do, is not only make celebrations, but also bring people a connection to the land.
Adina, thank you so much. Adina, A to Z Events, Israel.com. Check it out. And I'm really blessing you that you get a chance to do an event here in the land of Israel. Adina, may we be zochet to have more great smachot here in this good land.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Toda rabah. I was waiting to do that interview for a long time, so I'm happy that it actually got done. And I think it's part of what we do around here. We can't just talk about news and dark issues all the time. We got to talk about the stuff of life. Remember, this is the nation that wears necklaces that say Chai. Have you ever thought about that? We're a nation who wears life. The word Chai means life. That's amazing. And so that's what we're about. We're about those life cycle events. And I want to thank the people who are super chatting, including Jean, who gave 50 Swedish krones. I don't even know how much that's worth, but I'm sure it's awesome. So thank you very much for your support. And there are others. Yocheved, if you don't mind putting some up later on. Here's another one. I found another one. User EK7KD3IL5M has money to give me, but does not have money to give himself a great handle. That's how much he loves Israel, that he's willing to do that. It says, we stand with Israel. God bless Israel and its people. Thank you, Yishai, for bringing Israel to us. Thank you. Okay. God bless you. And may God give you a great handle for your next time, and more blessings from Switzerland. Thank you very much for Thomas 57. Thank you very much. And God bless you guys. All right. We did that. Good. Now, I want to tell you about something that's happening here in this land. You know that we lost so many beautiful soldiers and civilians on October the 7th, and then subsequently in the war, right? We lost about 800 soldiers in the war. And it's become something that not a lot of people talk about. It's kind of ubiquitous, though. It's everywhere. On every single bus stop, there are stickers. And the stickers have a face of a fallen person and their phrase or their motto in life. I stop and I look at these stickers. I love them. They're inspiring. They make you tear up because you see who has fallen. And yet again, they're just like I was saying, it's like a Chai necklace. It's so alive. And these stickers, which is like a spontaneous thing that has happened here in the land of Israel, people just making this sticker for their loved one and putting them together with other stickers. I was in Tel Aviv, saw a whole sticker wall. In Hebron, there's a whole sticker wall. Sometimes right next to my prayer place here in Gush Etzion, there's just one sticker, but it's a face. It happened to be two guys and a little line to remember them. And these stickers, they're not dark. They're actually inspiring. There's something about them which is amazing. And if you're here in the land, you could just go see the stickers. But Jeffrey Weiss has created a website called Stickers of Meaning. And the Stickers of Meaning website has, let me start by first putting up this website so you could start seeing it. I'm going to share my screen. Here it is, Stickers of Meaning. What a great name. So easy to remember also, Stickers of Meaning. And this website, Stickers of Meaning, has all, I guess, we're going to find out in a second, all the stickers, like be the hero we need in loving memory of Sivan Weil. I just picked this one randomly. I don't. They're all just amazing. A lot of them are all in Hebrew, but this website also translates and tells the story of the sticker. Who would take the time to create this website? What kind of person is this? That is interesting to me. And so Jeffrey Weiss, 1 second, hold on 1 second. I see that I made a mistake. 1 second, friends. This is live TV as always, right? You know that it's live TV. And I see that I made a little mistake when I hit the button. Jeffrey Weiss is the founder and president of Stickers of Meaning. The October 7th massacre and the subsequent war have claimed the lives of nearly 2,000 civilians and soldiers, as I was saying. The Stickers of Meaning project was created to collect and present these stickers about these people through the project website, an active Instagram page, and a video series called The Story Behind the Stickers. It's a program both in the U.S. and Israel. The goal is to learn from those we lost and carry forward the ideas that were important to them. Such an amazing idea. I love it. And I'm very, very happy to have Jeff Weiss with us. Jeff, shalom and welcome.
How are you? Thank you so much for having me.
Well, first thing, thank you very much for writing to me and telling me that you have this website. And the minute I saw it, I was like, this is moving. What a beautiful thought to just take the time. Now, do you want to tell me that you have all or most of the stickers that have been made out there? And how do you even procure all of them?
We certainly don't have all. I think we have over 400. We're adding more all the time. Our goal is to get as close to all of them as we can. There probably are another at least couple of hundred that we don't yet have. Families can reach out to us through our Instagram page and give us a JPEG of the sticker and consent. And for us, consent has been a fundamental kind of rule of the road for us in putting this up. Even though these are stickers that are in the public domain, we've not simply relied on taking pictures and then putting them up. We want to make sure the families are comfortable, that they understand that we're going to put these stickers on a website, and we want to make sure we have their agreement for us to do that. So we've been doing that in a very kind of painstaking way over the last year and a half or so, and it's been very gratifying to pull together as many as we have. And we're looking forward to getting as close to the full set as we possibly can.
Okay, so I'm scrolling here on this first page, and you have to stop and understand what we're looking at. We're looking at a sticker. I'm going to pick one. This is a sticker that's out there, and it is in memory of this young man named Nir Binyamin, who was killed. I don't know if he was killed in battle. I think probably yes, because he was a captain in reserves near Binyamin. I see that you have his story. You say that he was a fighter in Unit A208 of I guess in reserves, and it says, "I am of Israel. Ani shel Israel. I am Israel. I belong to Israel." Okay, that was just one that I picked out. Shall I pick out another one? Tell me where to stop here.
I suggest that you pick out the one for Nadav Knoller, Knoll.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna Kno
Ller.
Ller. Okay.
And then the one that says the one on the far right, the horizontal one on this screen.
Okay. So we see here, Master Sergeant Reserves Nadav Elchanan Knoller, and it says in Hebrew, Yom Yavo v'chaim yichlifu lachem yichalfu lachem will pass before you mul einayim tevadu shem yiyu shavim tzfiya. In the English, they will come. Go ahead.
One day your life will pass before your eyes. Make sure it's worth watching.
Right.
And to me, this is such a great example of what I really am moved by with these stickers, which is they really are messages for those of us who are here to try to live better lives, more joyful lives, happier lives, more fulfilling lives, more daring lives. And it's a wonderful, incredible phenomenon that the families have seen fit to do this, to share these messages during, what can only be the most tragic time in their entire lives. And it says something, I think, so powerful about those that we have lost, and about their families, and about the people here generally.
Yeah, yeah. I want to tell you, Jeff. Excuse me, Jeff. In Kiryat Arba, there is this young soldier that was killed. His name was Spez, last name Spez, and his father was totally broken. He was totally broken until it came to him to make a food truck to feed the soldiers in the name of his son. This is now. And he is alive again. This amazing, beautiful father and family, they're all into it. And every 2 times a week, they're just feeding soldiers. And that's it just giving him life again. These stickers, if you just take a few minutes, you give what we call in Hebrew a yad vashem, a hand and a name to their story. It's like a mini story about these young people's lives. I just that's why when you wrote to me and you sent me this, I was like, I love this. I love this thing. And I'm literally one of the guys who stops and reads these stickers.
They're just extraordinary. And the first one that caught my attention was one that said, he didn't fight for the hatred of those in front of him, rather for love of those behind him. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was so powerful, and really, I think very accurately reflects the mindset, the ethos of the typical Israeli soldier, which they are fighting to defend their homeland, their families. They don't glory in feats of killing on the battlefield. That's not what this country is about. It's not what this army is about. And after seeing that one, I decided, you know what, I need to pay more attention to these stickers. And what I saw just absolutely amazed me. And so the goal for us on the website is not just to reproduce the stickers and to archive them, but also to categorize them, because over time we found that they fell into sort of distinct categories of different values: joy, love, purpose, meaning, overcoming obstacles, resilience, leadership. And I think when you search by category, which we have enabled on the site, you really do get, I think, a strong appreciation for just how powerful a phenomenon this really has been.
Yeah. And you've seen these walls, these full walls all over the place. They're just like bus stations or walls that it's become like an instant memorial. Here is a young woman, Eden Zacharia. Her name is well known for some reason. Is that right? Do you know why her? I don't recall exactly, but I recall her name.
In Yerushalmi, who was one of that group that was murdered in the tunnel together with Hirsch Goldberg Poland.
Mm-hmm.
I think otherwise, she's not particularly well known. Although of course they all deserve to be.
Right. Well, she's getting her. We're giving ourselves a chance to get to know her through this little sticker. And she writes in English, "Do only what you believe in." And then it says, and you see her beautiful face, and it says, "Niktefa." She was picked, or like cut down. Mi Festivala Noga. She was in the famous Nova. She was in the famous Nova Festival. Begil 27, at the tender age of 27. Lazicha shel Eden Zacharia Zal, to the memory of Eden Zacharia. Look at this smile. Look at this. This simple. This is obviously one of the phrases that she said. You know what else I like about this website? I like very much that you see it also where the sticker is found in a public place. You found another.
We take because what I do and what a couple of others who are involved in the project do is when we see a sticker that catches our eye, we take a picture and then we kind of add it to the list of ones for which we want to seek permission. And so the stickers, like for example, that you're looking at on this page, these are all JPEGs that we received from the families. Right. But then when you click on the JPEG, you get some biographical information about the subject of the sticker. And then in the background, we actually put the picture that we took of the sticker on a pole or park bench or in a train station. And of course, the train stations are where you do tend to see some pretty remarkable collections of these.
Yeah, you see them. That's right. Here's one all in Hebrew, but you have it also translated. This is Captain Harel Ita, and it says, "Aim high, strive for excellence in everything you do." Now look at this picture. Look at this picture, though. Yeah, such a powerful message. And this is a guy who's, I hate to say it, this is a guy who's dead. This is a kid who's dead. He's been killed. If I wasn't on live here, I'd be, it causes me to tear up. It's like, this is, you just take a look at this guy for a second. This is a sticker of somebody who's alive on the face of it, but he's gone. He's gone. He died in this war.
What we've tried to achieve with this too is that I think, through force of circumstances over the centuries, the Jewish people have become very good at remembering those that we've lost. And of course, the Holocaust memorials are perhaps the greatest example of that. And I think here, through these stickers, we have an ability to do that, but also to go one step further and actually to learn from these remarkable people and to bring these messages that were so precious to them, to bring them forward into our own lives. And that's really what we try to do with the site, with educational programs that we run. I think it's so valuable for folks to really think about these messages, to think which ones speak to them, resonate to them, and how they might be able to incorporate them into their own lives in a positive way.
Absolutely. Here's just one more sticker that we're going to talk about. I just picked it out at random. I love that when you go down the site, it just opens more and more. This is somebody who I don't know what the story is. I don't know what the story is. And by the way, you could look up on a different website the whole story of I could copy and paste this. I'm going to take a second to do it. I'm just going to take a second to do it. I'm gonna take a second to take this name. I'm gonna Control C and put it in my browser here, and it goes right to the Yiscor website. And I'm gonna just show people that you could go easily, and you can actually click English here. One second, let me see if I could find the person's name in the English website. No, I don't see it. You have to put it into English. But in any case, just for a second, I'm going to switch sites to here. And this is the story of Gary Zulat. He was born in India. This is an Indian Jew. Okay. The B'nai Menashe. And he fell on the 11th of the 11th, basically a year ago. He was 21 and he was fighting.
There's another one that I could suggest to you. If you can search for Avshalom.
Okay, hold on one second. Let's go back to your site here. Let's go back to your site and share this tab instead. Let's go hit back here. Okay. And you want me to look for Avshalom I'll look for it in Hebrew. Say it again.
Avshalom, and then Peretz. The one on the far left, the soldier.
Wow. Wow.
And so read this one. I mean, it's just extraordinary. Don't ask for it to be easier. Ask to become stronger. Don't ask for fewer problems. Ask for more skills. Don't ask for fewer challenges. Ask for more insight. The great value in life comes not from what you received, but from the kind of person you become. And it encapsulates, this particular one encapsulates an entire sort of life philosophy, a message that can sort of carry you through any situation and really help you frame how you should be kind of thinking about the world and the different things that come your way over the course of your life. And stickers like this just, to me are just so powerful. And I really would love to see these messages spread as far and wide as they possibly can be.
Well, there's two more things I need to make people notice about this particular sticker. And thank you so much, Jeff, for pointing this one out. First thing is, this is Avshalom's handwriting. Okay, so he wrote this. This is not just a phrase he used to say. He actually wrote this, and you could see his signature there. And so he literally, this is his thing. The other thing you have to know is he is a Yamam fighter. Yamam is Israel's top police special forces unit. It's considered one of the hardest units to get to in the whole world. Okay, so we're talking about an elite fighter. So we're not talking about, an elite fighter. We're talking about a super elite fighter. You could see it by this guy's form, and you could see it by his writing. This is an elite person. And obviously, this phrase that we read about him was, I'm going to move us a little bit here. So 1 second, so people could see it better. Okay. This phrase that you read by him is clearly, this is this guy's internal mantra. This is what this was Avshalom Yair Peretz, this is how he lived, and he
And you
didn't
can
get to
see
where
to
he got to.
get to where he got, he lived. This is something that was actually, this was his truth, and he lived it. He put it into practice in his own life, and and really achieved something remarkable. And so, yeah, I think he has so much to teach us if if we're only willing to read it and to listen to it.
Jeff, my producer writes, thank you so much for doing this project that is so important. And so many other people are writing this. And she continues and she writes, as a mom of an IDF soldier, I know the incredible efforts these young people made to get into their units. We must never forget them. Absolutely. And these are, but there's soldiers, there's civilians, there's all kinds. There's different aspects to this thing. Could be inspiring, could be memorial. Okay. I want to shift gears for a second. First thing, just before we shift gears, Stickers of Meaning, great website. It'll touch your heart, stickersofmeaning.org. It touched my heart when I saw it. These stickers touch my heart even without this website. And then this website makes me feel like, wow, the whole world could see it. So thank you very much, Jeff, for that. And now, Jeff, I want to shift gears for a second and ask you, what kind of dude takes the time to make this kind of website? Like, what's your deal, man? Like, where are you from? Tell me a little bit about your story.
From the States, of course. Lived a good chunk of my adult life in the Washington, D.C. area. Made Aliyah about 3.5 years ago. And, obviously this was a very meaningful time to be in the country. I arrived a little over a year before October 7th, and had always heard that times of war, times of struggle in Israel, in many ways it's challenging, but of course it's also a very meaningful time to be in the country. Indeed. And I've certainly found that to be the case. And I was hoping to find some way to give back a little bit and in some way to make a contribution to so much of what's going on here. There is such a wonderful, powerful volunteer spirit in this country. After October 7th, people were volunteering in every way that they could, going south to pick crops. I did that a couple of times, maybe 3 or 4 times. People were, gathering clothes for the folks who had been evacuated from the south and then from the north. Just all sorts of different volunteer work, which was so inspiring. And so for me, I really was looking for something that I could do, and this really just caught my imagination. I think part of it is I'm a marathoner, and at marathons you tend to see inspiring signs kind of along the route that people are holding up. And there was one in particular that I always loved. Pain is temporary, victory is forever. And I've seen that on several of the stickers. And in general, I think Israelis are very moved by something that I'm also very moved by, the Viktor Frankl book, Man's Search for Meaning. And the name of the project really is inspired by that title. And that book actually became a bestseller in Israel again after October 7th. I think in this country, there really is a yearning for meaning and purpose. Hirsch Goldberg Poland was telling those that he encountered, as hostages, the kind of the Viktor Frankl line, if you know your why, you can endure anyhow. And I think one of them actually has had it tattooed on his arm since returning to Israel. It's just an incredibly powerful sentiment or thought. And so that was basically kind of what started it for me. The stickers so resonated with me. And I realized, of course, at some point they're going to disappear. The elements, other events are going to come along and displace them. And it really would be, to me, a horrible tragedy to lose this phenomenon. Especially
and it's a totally homegrown phenomenon. Like it started with a few stickers, and it just everybody started being like, I'm making a sticker, and it's obvious that the families or the friends who made the stickers really tried to get the essence of that person. And I'm telling you, here in Israel, I just stop and look at the stickers, and I give those people the minute that they deserve, to honor them, to remember them, to get the inspiration from them. And to just be like wowed by their sacrifice and who they were and the loss, not to grieve, to be broken, but to be inspired. I love that the vast majority of the stickers are like exuding life. They're trying to be like, this is who this person was. We loved them and they're lost, but it's like take something from this person. Keep going with their message, with their strength. I love that.
And the incredible thing too is that, especially when dealing with the ones from Nova, their messages in particular are messages about rejoicing, being happy. And so many of them are so, in some ways, almost naively positive, like it'll all work out in the end, this kind of thing. And of course, on an individual level, these folks died in tragic circumstances. But I think the message is the right message because they're speaking to us as a nation, as a people, and we do want to retain our optimism, our love of this world, our joy in all of the things that are around us, and we can't basically allow these horrible events to divert us from that. We really need to remain positive and purpose driven, and that's what I think these stickers are all about.
Jeff, you're also the author of 2 books. One is about fighting back Stan Andrews and the birth of the Israeli Air Force. And another one is called Racing Against Time on Ironman, ultra marathons, and the quest for transformation in midlife. Okay, I want to tell you, I am interested in both of those books, and I'm going to have you on the show again to talk about both of them because they deserve their own attention. We'll have you on again to talk about both of those books. And we'll have fun. And I want to wish you really kol hakavod. You know, I just want to frame today this thing that you've done, which I think is very moving. And I think it's a great way for people to connect, and probably people can support it as well. Am I right? There's people have a way to support, or to, what is the next step? What's the word that they call? Not follow up. What's the call to action that you could do with Stickers of Meaning?
People can make donations, which is great. I think, honestly, our biggest goal is for folks to reach out to us if they're interested in putting on a workshop, and we would love to enable that in any way that we can. Our big goal basically is just to spread this as much as we possibly can. And I think this is an enduring thing. I think this is something that we can carry forward for quite some time. I think this notion of learning from incredible young people such as these is something that we should never stop doing.
Stickersofmeaning.org. Am I right?
Correct.
All right. Did I spell that right? Meaning.org. Did I spell that correctly? Yeah. 1
You
second. I'm just gonna put it up here in 1 second, just so people can see it and have it easily in their mind. Stickersofmeaning.org. Did I do that right?
You did that perfectly.
Jeff Weiss, a marathon runner, Ole, a new immigrant to the land of Israel. You write about the Israeli Air Force, and you also created this website called Stickers of Meaning, remembering those who have fallen through the stickers that their loved ones have made. They're inspiring last messages for the Jewish people. God bless you, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Very good. I love that stuff, man. I love that stuff. You know, I'm telling you, like I saw these stickers. I see them. Just the other day, I was looking at one. I was like, oh, I love this. So meaningful. And when he wrote to me with this website, I was like, this is absolutely what we have to have on. All right. Kol hakavod, Am Yisrael. Kol hakavod to the nation of Israel. By the way, before we go on, there's a few things that I'd like to promote today. First thing I'd like to promote is what's happening this weekend in Hebron. And that is that I will be there along with my family at the Tomb of the Mamas and Papas. We have a big Hebron festival, which is called Chayei Sarah. And there's me. Look at that. Awesome. And you are definitely welcome to join us. Come to Hebron. And if not, check out what we have this year, which is called the International Chayei Sarah. I came up with that term, International Chayei Sarah. And there are ways, if you go to our website, to be part of International Chayei Sarah, which is a way to bring the Torah portion of Chayei Sarah, which is about the purchase of the tomb of the mamas and papas. See, it says Chayei Sarah Guide. You see that right here, Chayei Sarah Guide. Okay, you can have this. You can download your own trivia and learning guide. You could register for Shabbat Chayei Sarah. So I definitely want to promote that. The other thing I want to promote is a new fun product that is going to be part of our little promotions. And this is not for everybody, but it's for a lot of people. It's this. It's the Aleph Mail. Aleph is like A, but it's the Hebrew language A. So you see this? The Aleph Mail beard oil. That's right. Aleph Mail beard oil. You don't get this just naturally, okay? It needs a little help. Aleph Mail beard oil. Check it out. That's found. Are you into beard oil? Is that a thing? Do you want beard oil from the land of Israel? Check out Aleph Mail, ALEPHMALE.com. Let me know if you got it. Let me know if you're using it. If you communicate with them, then tell them that you heard about it on Yishai Fleischer's show. There's so many things I want to promote. You don't know how many things I want to promote. I want to promote everything. I want to promote Aliyah. And I think I wanted to promote something from Nefesh B'Nefesh. They have crazy stuff. Aliyah, El Al Airlines, Art Scroll books. Art Scroll is great English Hebrew studying of the Bible. So many things, including, though, Aleph Mail, beard oil from the land of Israel. You can have gray, awesome beard like myself if you wish it. Okay, so that's what's happening here. And check out HebronFun.org as well. And we are having fun here. We've been broadcasting for an hour and 35 minutes, and it feels like no more than an hour and 32 minutes at all. It's just been so fun to be with you. And I love the fact that there's so many people from around the world, and they're sending us blessings. Let's put up a few of the super chats before we go on. For example, Zadiko became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. God bless us all, especially Israel. Thank you very much. And blessings right back to you. And we have blessings from all over the world, Switzerland and Germany and all the good folks from all over the world. So thank you very much. And you are part of it wherever you are. But we all know that the greatest blessing is finding your life mate. And my greatest blessing is Malka Fleischer, who joins us, show hostess with the mostest. Shalom.
Hey, Yishai, how you doing?
I'm doing so well, Baruch Hashem. Much better now that you're here, Malka.
Yes, thank you so much.
It's great.
Sometimes I come on the show and then I see myself in the mirror and I gotta fix this. There's no beard oil for that.
No, you got other stuff that makes it happen. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's awesome. Malka, we have 1.5 hour left for the show, and I know that everybody's just really excited to have Malka. Am I right, everybody? Come on. Give it up for a little bit Malka time. Come on. Let's do it. Let's get a little energy here.
Thanks,
fact,
everybody.
I'm going to take a little break for a second, Malka. There you go. See?
Okay, l'chaim to all the great listeners out there. And if you are tuning in now, then you are watching Yishai Fleischer TV Live. And we are here talking about all the news that's fit to print. That's right. And of course, Yishai, the big news of the day is that Hadar Goldins' remains have been returned for proper Jewish burial. He was in the land of Israel before, having been interred somewhere in Gaza, but now he is back in the hands of the Jewish people, and he will receive a proper Jewish burial. His family will be able to part from him in a way that they have not been able to do for over 10 years. And it brings back a lot of memories, but it also brings a certain kind of closure. And it's worth talking about, Yishai, because, we're intermingling some like old wounds with some new wounds, some old failures with some new questions about how we're running things and how we're going to make sure that there's no more Hadar Goldins ever again. There's so much uncertainty in the future when it comes to Gaza. Yishai, it's funny. I turned on a song today.
What did you turn on?
I turned on a song.
Oh,
in the car while I was driving one of the kids to one of their school activities. And it was the old song, Harbu Darbu. You guys remember that song? It was a little bit hardcore, war song, edgy, about our rage, basically. Our rage and also our readiness to fight, and all the different army, what's the word I'm looking for? Units that were coming out to fight for Israel against our enemies. And us calling out the people that we plan to take down, who did this to us and to our people. And I used to listen to that song in the car during the first, after it first came out and at the early stages of the war. And I remember driving in my car and listening to that song and feeling like a certain adrenaline, this what do they call it in health terms, like cortisol. Right? This everyone was keyed up for a really long time. And some of that energy was really a challenge to deal with, and some of it was sort of invigorating in the sense that it felt that we were going to finally deal with some of the like major issues that have been hovering over our heads and literally digging tunnels under our feet for so long. And it felt like maybe now we were going to really deal with what had been like scaring and frustrating us for so long and paining us for so long. And I listened to this song today, Yishai, and I sat in the car and cried, actually. I thought about how hard the 2 years of the war were. And the reason I cried was actually not because it was hard, but because now we're here at wherever here is. I'm not sure where here is, where we've gotten to this place. And it doesn't feel like any of those, it doesn't feel like we finished anything. It is nice. It is a good feeling today that Hadar, it's more than nice. It's good. And it's right. And it's just, and I'm thankful that Hadar Goldin has been returned to us. And it's only because we thrashed our enemies that we finally got him back. And that's a positive, you know, to put it in very, very simplistic terms. But are we now looking at a future in which like everything's different and we have a totally different relationship to Hamas and we're never going to let this happen again, and all of our leaders have learned their valuable lessons, and now we're going to change tacks and make sure that like the people of Israel are safe forever? I don't know. You know, I don't know. And that's why I cried. I cried because of all the energy and the passion that the people of Israel put into the last 2 years, the incredible sacrifice, the unbelievable sacrifice, that some people literally gave everything. Some people will spend the rest of their lives giving everything, in the sense that their wounds and their scars and their traumas and the breakages that happened in their lives as a result of this war will last them the rest of their lives. The fear that mothers and wives and sisters and brothers had as they sent their sons off to war. We were so brave and we were so ready. I mean, we weren't ready when the war got started. I don't mean we were tactically ready, but we were emotionally and I would say even spiritually ready to take it to another level. And did we take it to another level? Like, are we at the other level? Let's put it that way. Are we now at the other level? I think in some ways, yes. But I think in some ways, no. And I cried for that, you know? And so I cried for that pain and that uncertainty and that sorrow that, see, it's still here. Of letting down the us of when that song came out, you know, not achieving the hopes that I think that we had all had. I don't mean to be pessimistic and I don't mean to be gloomy. I think that part of it is touched off by the fact that Hadar is back, and seeing like some ends get tied up now of this war, you know, all the one after another.
Let's watch his body come back home to the land of Israel, Malka. Let's take a look. Okay, a giant procession of Hadar Goldin's body returning to the land of Israel. And it's got an element of closure, no doubt, an element of closure. And we have to be thankful for what we have. And I agree with you that it's far from closure vis-a-vis the whole world. Okay, let's go on, Malka. We've had a lot of fun on the show today. We had an Israeli event planner, Adina. We've had stickers of meaning, remembering the folks that have died, and stickers have been made for them. let's get back a little bit to life, okay, Malka? And the life that we have to celebrate, the first thing is strong Jews. Here's what happens in Toronto when a strong Jew was being attacked on campus, on a Toronto campus. Here's what he did. Check this out.
Lock in. I need these over here.
Do you feel it was the event that was targeted, or were you targeted personally?
I think it was both. I was targeted as a Jew.
He was targeted as a Jew, and he fought back. And this video of this Israeli in Toronto is just gone totally viral, and it's amazing. I mean, the power of a big, strong Jew is just awesome. Like this guy,
like picked them all up in one hand almost.
Yeah, he just kicked them all out. I think I have another video. Did I have another video of this thing? This guy just is this. Wait, 1 second. I had Toronto Jew. 1 second. Where else did I see that one? Oh my gosh, what an amazing video that is. Just kicking the bad guys out. Just kicking the bad guys out. Just
so funny also because they initiated an aggression against him.
Right.
And the second that he touched them, they're like, no, oh no, he's aggressing. He's an IDF occupier. It's just funny. They're just who they are all the time.
Oh my gosh. It's awesome. And just to see this guy take care of business and it's like, what movie does it remind me of? What's that movie called? The Blind Side, right? Where he chucks the annoying other player, he just throws them out.
Pushes them back.
Yeah, pushes them out. That's what it's like. It's like, wait, is that 1 second? Is this
Damage over here. Insult me and they broke our own property. Now I'm going to physically remove them from the house.
Is he taking 5 jihadis
That's
with
his
him?
blood on her. Yeah, no.
Now lock in. I need these over here.
Do you feel it was the event that was targeted, or were you targeted personally?
I think it was both. I was targeted as a Jew, as an Israeli. I think the event was targeted for being supportive of the state of Israel.
No one can stop me, no one can stop us from being pro-Israel students. As much as they try to silence us, no one can stop pro-Israel students anywhere in the world and on our campuses.
Okay, well, anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That is a strong Jew. And that is a strong Jewish response. You take that jihad and you throw it out.
Throw them out.
And that's what we should do in our land as well. Jihadis.
Right. And other people should take a
haters
lesson
of
from that
Israel.
as well.
Boom.
Yeah.
Kick the bad guys out. Take them out of our land. Take them out from within our borders and from within our borders. Nobody should hate Israel and try to destroy it. You break into a Jewish event, you injure people, get them out.
That's right.
And don't wait for the police and for the who knows what. Show them who's boss and say, look, he's hurting us. Get out. We know exactly what you're about. You're about the destruction of Israel. You're about disrupting our lives. You got to go. You got to go. That they had to go. He just had to go. They had those. I mean, my favorite shot though is when he takes 5 Hamas haters and just like corrals them out of there. Just pushes them out of there.
Yeah, and they're
Oh my
shrieking.
God.
And that's exactly right. And they push the envelope all the time to see how far you'll let them go.
Exactly.
And the farther you let them go, the farther they go. So we really have to make sure. They
I hope
they
I
are
hope
able
that
to
I
do that.
find out what this young man's name is, and I hope I get to shake his hand, and I hope that this guy, he should be a minister in the government, minister in charge of getting rid of jihad. He gets it, okay? He doesn't need to go to an international school of diplomacy. He understands. He doesn't need a degree in I don't know what feelings and in feeling studies of variousness. It's all good. He got it. He understands what to do with the bad guys. Love it. Oh yeah. Somebody's writing to me right now. Yishai, encourage Aliyah by telling people about the 2-year tax-free for Aliyah. That's right. There's a new plan right now. And I talked about it on my Friday live. There's a new plan right now to give people tax breaks, like crazy tax breaks for the first 2 years, and then incrementally more and more until you get to normal Israeli. But like basically you're making $1 million shekel a year. They're not going to tax you for the year. It's like insane. It's insane. It's really a huge thing that the Ministry of Finance with the Ministry of Aliyah is doing. So absolutely that's true. But anyway, we want to encourage that guy to come back and become a minister. Okay. Malka, I want to talk about a few more things.
Okay.
First thing, you wanted to see this video. Van Jones at CNN speaking about Jewish right to the land of Israel. Let's take a look.
There are 1.3 billion Chinese people in the world. God bless them. There are 1.4 billion Indians in the world. God bless them. There are 1.3 billion Africans in the world. God bless us. There are 1.4 billion Catholics. I'm a Protestant. 1.4 billion Catholics in the world. There are 2 billion Muslims. There's only 15 million Jews left in the whole world. Only 15 million left. Their numbers would have been massively bigger if it weren't for the Holocaust and the centuries of violence against them before. And you have 15 million left, and half of them live in Israel. Half of them, by the way, if you want to play the color game, are people of color who are Jews that got chased out of Yemen, Mizrahi and Sephardic Jews. They got chased out of Yemen. They got chased out of Egypt. They got chased out of Ethiopia. And they share their country with 20% Arabs who have mosques and rights inside of Israel. But it is the tiniest little place in the world, smaller than, the people say smaller than New Jersey. It is smaller than Phoenix County in Arizona. And that's where half of the world, the remaining Jews in the world, are clinging to their existence. And when that group comes under attack, humanity has a special responsibility to defend them. Now, sometimes you're going to like their government, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're going to like their political policies, their economic policies, their military policies. That is completely fine to debate. But the idea that the West should abandon them to their fate, we already ran a 3,000-year experiment where Jews did not have a state, and it ended with Hitler's hell and Hitler's ovens. We are not going to run that experiment again. We don't have to do it again. We already did it. And anybody who can't understand the basic logic of that needs to explain why they can't do basic math about who in the world is the most microscopic minority that deserves the support of humanity.
So that was, now this guy, he's a very interesting fellow. His name is Anthony Capel Van Jones. He's an American political analyst, media personality, lawyer, author, civil rights advocate. And he has best-selling books, and he's a CNN host and contributor and an Emmy Award winner. Like, this guy's a serious dude. 57 years old. Looks great, by the way. And just like, what a dude, and what an amazing calculation. Like, right. I like to see Israel as strong. I like to promote Israel as strong, but he's right. Israel is a persecuted minority. And is the world going to try to see that minority get destroyed again or not? And he does not accept this math that the haters make, which is like, Israel's all powerful. Israel's all everything. Like, no, he's like, this is a small nation that was almost destroyed by Hitler. And are we going to stand with them, or are we going to stand against them? In a sense, he's making a mathematical and civil rights type of claim, as opposed to a biblical claim, as opposed to a blessings claim. But I hear it. And I could just see that he's a person who's just like, what are we talking about here? Like, why would anybody want to destroy this minority? It's such a sickness. And I think, and somebody writes here, it was in the Obama administration. Okay.
whatever it is, it's an amazing clip. And I think you could see that he's just saying to people, like, what are you talking about? Like, you really want to destroy the Jews? Are you sick? That's what he's saying. There's a sick world out there. Like, let's
or
not be
not to
sick.
destroy the Jews, but allow them to get destroyed. And are you, Western world, where he sees himself as a part of, are you, Western world, just going to stand by and let anti-Semitism under the guise of anti-Zionism eradicate the place where half of this tiny global minority lives?
That's right.
And the way he said it was really like getting back to basics in a certain way, in a way that was kind of refreshing, zooming out from all the news and all the conflict, and just being like, who are the Jewish people in the context of this planet, and what are we going to do? Like, are we going to be the people who stand by while they get destroyed?
Okay, Malka, that was awesome. So that's Van Jones, strongly worded comments in defense of the Jewish people. Pretty amazing. Now, Malka, I want to discuss once again. Now, Malka, I want to show and discuss with you 4 clips that have to do with Mamdani. Okay, Mamdani, young 34-year-old, pro-communist, pro-socialist, pro-jihadism, anti-Israel to the core, has now won the mayorship of New York City. He's now going to be the mayor of New York City, the heart of the Jewish world in the United States. And let's watch a few videos that will give us a sense of what's going on. Here's Zohran Mamdani's first event after elections.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is such a pleasure to be here alongside so many friends, and so many for whom today is the first time I'm having the opportunity to meet you. And
notice the guy standing next to him is wearing a Palestine.
Notice that, yes.
A Palestine scarf there.
This is the first Jumu'ah that I've been to since we won our election on Tuesday. Allahu Akbar. And it was an election where we made history. An election where we showed that what New Yorkers and New York City is craving is a city that all of us belong to, a city that serves everyone who calls it home, and a city where no longer will we have to debate who gets to call themselves a New Yorker, but one where we can in fact work to the benefit of all New Yorkers. And I've been asked many a time, what does it mean to be the first Muslim mayor of New York City? And I have shared this with many who have prayed alongside us today, but I have never said this as the mayor-elect. So if you will humor me to say it once more. As a young child learning about Islam, my dada, my grandfather Yusuf, my dadi, my grandmother Kulsum would teach me of what it meant to be a good Muslim. And they would tell me it meant to be a good person, to help those in need and to harm no one. And my dadi would teach me the words of the Prophet ﷺ. And I think of those words especially today, because today at Somos is a day of service, a day where we give back. And the words of, if there is food for one, then there is food for two. And if there is food for two, then there is food for 4. It reminds us that it is the choice to deprive some of food. It is a choice that we can change to ensure that all are fed. Because we remember that which has been shared with us as we have grown up, many of us in New York City. If you are not at the table, you may find yourself on the menu. And it was a Muslim brother in Malcolm X who reminded us that sitting at the table does not make you a diner. You have to be eating some of what's on that plate. And the time is now for every New Yorker in the wealthiest city, in the wealthiest country in the history of the world, to be able to eat, to be able to feed their families, to be able to both be free and...
Okay, so this clip...
Did he just quote Malcolm X?
He quoted Malcolm X. He quoted Malcolm X, and he is... Okay, more than anything, you see that he is mixing these two, like a strong type of socialism together with a Islamic, pro-Islamic, and we know from other things that he has made strong anti-Israel comments, and that he called for the arrest of Netanyahu, et cetera, et cetera. We know that he is strongly pro-Palestine. The guy next to him is standing there, even though he's not saying it in this particular phrase and particular event. We know what he stands for, and here he is basically saying to you, listen, New York is now a Muslim city. It's certainly going to be very Muslim welcoming, but it's not the words that he says. It's the stuff that he doesn't say. What is the new atmosphere of the town? And here's a video of Knesset member Ohad Tal from Israel with a strong reaction to what he thinks Mamdani stands for.
Okay.
Anti-Semite won the elections to the mayor of New York. And I think that expresses the big problem that we are seeing within the American public, in which the wokeism, the progressivism basically took control over the Democratic Party. And I think the joke is that Mamdani was elected with the votes of so many Jews who supported him. And that reveals that the younger generation in America lost the ability to differentiate between good and evil. And I believe that despite the fact that at current time that's a very bad thing, I think that for the long term, I think it's a good thing. I think if New York, which is a symbol in America, will fall to the hands of this crazy wokeism and progressivism, and they will go to poverty, and they will have more refugees, and they will lose New York. I think it will bring it to a point of such craziness that I hope that patriotic Americans will wake up to fight back for the land, because they will realize that what happens for them, their future can be just like New York, like London and Paris, and they would fight back for the soul of their country. And I hope that they will succeed.
Okay, so that clip, Knesset member Ohad Tal says, listen, New York is going to suffer. It's going to become, like he says, London, but I think a better example is actually San Francisco. And he's saying, like, it might be that wake-up call that people need. We'll see. I'm not sure it's going to be the wake-up call. I think quite the opposite. I think their victory is a victory. And it means something else. And I want to say something about that, which is blue states, strongly blue states become green states, become jihadi states, become pro-jihad, pro-Hamas states. Look at Detroit, look at Minneapolis, look at San Francisco. These places, they start with blue, and blue splits into a few different colors. Blue splits into the rainbow color. Then blue splits into a communist or socialist red. It splits into the green, environmentalist green. Look at Greta, who was green. She was one kind of green, and then she split off into Hamas green, right? So basically, that's what happens. Blue splits off into these four colors: rainbow, red communist socialist, green environmentalist, and then in the end ends up being jihadist. And that's what's happening in New York. And I think it's going to change very much what the Jewish people are going to experience over there. But you know what? I was a New Yorker, a proud New Yorker. I'm a proud Jew in the land of Israel. But let's listen to two New Yorkers, two rabbis, okay? Two groups of rabbis. Let's listen to two groups of rabbis. Here's one group of rabbis, not what I usually would consider rabbis, but hey, that's how they identify themselves.
They self-identify.
There you go. Here we go.
Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi. We're among the thousands of Jewish New Yorkers who've been out door knocking and phone banking to elect Zohran Mamdani. We're also rabbis.
We know Zohran will fight to make our city affordable and safe for our families.
And for our neighbors of all faiths and backgrounds. As New Yorkers, we're also just people who live here. who don't want to get priced out of this incredible city that we call home.
We know fellow Jews want to be able to afford housing, transportation, and childcare for their families too.
As Jews, as rabbis, as New Yorkers, we believe that all people deserve to thrive. Zoran agrees.
But let's get real. This isn't only about belief, it's about action. So let's build a flourishing city.
Together, let's elect Zoran. Zoran!
Okay,
What?
so yeah, well, there you
Did
go.
I just watch?
You watched progressive reform rabbis, ladies.
I beg to differ on the ladies, at least in maybe one case.
I don't know, and I don't want to get in trouble, but I could say to you that
I'm not sure if everyone was rabbis. I'm not sure if everyone was ladies.
discuss.
Yeah, but go on.
Bottom line is that these people on the political left who call themselves rabbis
and call themselves ladies,
right? They are out there campaigning for Zoran Mamdani. They got what they wanted. Their focus obviously was not to say, I think he's a jihadi, Jew-hating person, or certainly Israel-hating person. Their thing was, it's going to make the city affordable. How is that exactly going to happen?
I mean, it didn't seem to have much to do with Jewishness at all.
Right.
It just
No.
was some Jews who
don't
are
want
using their rabbinical title to advocate for cost of living issues in the city.
and to vote for this guy who's not with their general agenda. Okay. Now let's watch a different rabbi who on the face of it is from that political spectrum. His name is Rabbi Ami Hirsch. He's the senior rabbi at the Stephen Wise Free Synagogue in New York City. Free. It's a free synagogue, you see, so it's like Mamdani like.
What kind of Judaism is this?
He is executive director. His previous role was executive director of the Association of Reform Zionists of America, ARZA. Right? That's right. And he's a strong advocate of Zionism within Reform Judaism. He argues that a vibrant Israel diaspora connection is central to the movement's future. And he was named amongst the 50 most influential Jews of the year by Jerusalem Post.
Wow.
And he's a strong guy.
A respected person.
A respected person, but he's also from the liberal
that
spectrum.
world.
Right, exactly.
Let's so watch. We're hear more of the same.
Well, let's hear.
Let's find out.
Elect in late August, after the primaries. Several prominent and liberal New York City rabbis spent an hour with him. We entered with open hearts and open minds. Most of us had never met the candidate, and we were interested in taking the measure of the man. As the meeting unfolded, our mood steadily darkened, and our fears increased. Zoran Mamdani is an ideologically committed, dogmatic opponent of the Zionist idea. He is not simply a critic of Israel. Policy differences are central to democratic discourse and entirely legitimate. But Mayor-elect Mamdani does not believe in coexistence. He does not believe in two states for two peoples. His opposition to Israel is existential. He believes that Israel has no right to exist at all as a Jewish state in any territory. This, of course, is the position of Israel's most implacable foes. It is the ideology of Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, and their supporters in the West. The reason this talented politician with such impressive verbal skills has been unable to convincingly explain away his support for the refrains globalize the Intifada, free Palestine, from the river to the sea, is that these slogans represent his core beliefs. He doesn't hide it. To the contrary, he's proud of it. The struggle for the Palestinian liberation was at the core of my politics and continues to be, he proclaimed in a 2023 keynote speech to the Democratic Socialists of America. None of this is about coexistence. What most of those who shout globalize the Intifada mean is October 7th. For most of them, free Palestine means October 7th. From the river to the sea means October 7th.
So this is Rabbi Ami Hirsch, and I have to say that he speaks, I think, with clear-eyed clarity. That's what I have to say. He's like, this guy is antithetical to Zionism. Hello, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. Rabbi. Hi, Rabbi. We're gonna have a cheap city. Oh my God. Hi, Rabbi. It's like this guy, this Rabbi Ami Hirsch is like, this guy is existentially dangerous to the Jewish state. He's antithetical to our ideas, and he is an enemy of the Jews.
Right.
So
And he's like, I sat with him myself.
Right.
And after sitting with him myself, I came to worse conclusions than I thought I would. So yeah, it's I feel bad. I feel bad like for people like Rabbi Weiss, who've been trying to straddle a fence for a long time.
Look at this, Maka. Look at this. Here's some comments. We got one comment. Oh, wait. I want to get to this one. He said, one comment says, pretty soon you won't be able to be elected in America unless you're a Jew hater. And then another guy writes, I like this, go back to Poland, Europe, Zion-Nazi. It is true, by the way, that my grandfather had to run away from the Nazis from Poland. Baruch Hashem.
I have no roots in Poland.
No.
I've never been to Poland.
No. But I just want to say, when you say go back to Poland, it's true. My grandfather was from Poland because the Jews were evicted by the Romans 2,000 years ago. And in our long sojourn, we were in different places. The Nazis came to hunt us down in Germany, but Baruch Hashem, that actually created a process by which we returned to the land of Israel. Mamdani is that exact thing. He wants to kick us out of New York. But in the end, what he doesn't know is that it's going to strengthen Israel. Like, Mamdani is a horrible thing. It will hurt New York City. It will hurt American Jewry, because the heart of American Jewry is New York. I have no doubt of that. But what he doesn't know, Mamdani, is that his presence will in the end strengthen the Jewish people and the Jewish state. He's actually a force for darkness and bad, which will boomerang on him and become a force for good and strength of the Jewish people. Maybe some Jews will move to Florida, but there will be Jews that come to the land of Israel and strengthen it. Even those that move to Florida will strengthen Israel. Yeah, man, like, you are trying to take down the Jewish heart of New York and the love of Israel that New York has always had, but you will strengthen Israel against your will. You will be an agent of God. You will be an agent of positive change. Like, Jews should have never voted for you. Nobody should have ever voted for you. You will hurt that city. Maybe you will begin the process of really declining that city, like I've seen in San Francisco. I used to go to San Francisco. It was like, okay. And then it became horrible and destroyed. This Mamdani is the same type of character, okay, that wants to do that. And you will hurt the Jewish community of New York. That's certainly your program and your plan. But you don't understand, Mr. Mamdani, that your jihadism will in the end strengthen Israel, just like October 7th strengthen Israel. And Rabbi Ami Hirsch, thank you for being a courageous voice. You and I are not in the same religious bent exactly, but on this we stand together. And on the love of Israel, the strength of Israel, and recognizing the enemies and calling them out. So I want to thank Rabbi Ami Hirsch for his courage and his strength, and I hope to shake his hand one day.
Oh, that's very nice. And I just want to bolster what you're saying, Yishai, by saying that Zoran Mamdani, you think that you can hurt the Jews, you don't understand how we operate. Sometimes it's a person like Zoran Mamdani who exactly strengthens the Jews. Yeah, is it going to loosen the grip of Jews on their rooted places in New York City? Is it going to repel them and make them feel unsafe in New York and make them pull out their homes and pull out their schools and pull out their investments? Probably, you know what I mean? Either now or over the course of time it will, but we're good at moving. It's
Right.
okay.
That's right.
The Jewish people, we don't actually get hurt from these things. In fact, sometimes a healthy shakeup is exactly what we need, and no one likes it. And you're not trying to go to that place, and we're not trying to get moved out of a place. But it's not like it will be the first time.
That's right.
The Jewish people have been moved out of places, and we thrive, and Hashem protects us, and He grows us, and He helps us to remember who we are in His ways, and all roads lead back to Jerusalem.
That's right. And I want to say, Malka, something that people forget. In a short span of a few hundred years, we were able to traverse the Babylonian Empire, which led to the Persian Empire. I was just reading the book of Daniel in Shabbat. It's the transition between like Daniel, like the prophet Daniel, he himself traversed from Babylonian to Persian. He was able to deal with both of those and become an important person in the Persian court. And we went from Babylonian to Persian to Greek to Roman. And we were able to, master and deal with all of those empires. And then we went into diaspora, we were evicted from our land, and now we're back. So the Jewish story keeps going. Am Yisrael Chai.
This is
look
not
at this, Maka. Look at this.
time.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Am Yisrael Chai. Am Yisrael Chi from Iran. That's right. Am Yisrael Chai from Iran.
Yisrael
Thank you very
Chai,
much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You see, there's a person, this Medraded. I don't know, but my man from Iran is giving us strength, and that is just awesome. That is just awesome. And I want to send, and I think that's a great way to end the show. I want to thank you, Malka Fleischer, for being with us and giving us strength, because that's what this show is all about. We're about getting strength and giving strength from the land of Israel and from the great return and the darkness that's enveloping some countries. That is not commensurate. That is not reflective of the great light that's coming from Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim's light is coming out. It's being built, and it's happening right now in our time. And this show is all about the strength that's emanating from this good land. And you, Malka Fleischer, you give us a lot of strength. Thank you so much for being with us. And we'll see you, B'ezrat Hashem, next week. Keep fighting the good fight. May Hashem protect you and keep you, along with all of Am Yisrael, and together with our children and lovers of Israel throughout the world. God bless you, Malka, and may Hashem protect you and keep you. All right.
Shalom.
Shalom to you, Malka Fleischer. Thank you so much. Here's Brian. He says, great show, great points. Keep getting stronger with each attack. Thank you, Brian O'Shea.
Yishai, can you play the video of the girl who was raised by a Hamas family?
You know what? That's a long 9-minute video, and I think that I want to do that as a separate video. I'm going to do that. I was going to just do it by itself. We've been on already for 2 hours and 17 minutes, so I'm going to, with your permission, I will do that as a separate video. I was thinking about doing that together with the video from Brigitte Gabriel, like doing a whole thing, and we'll cover it, B'ezrat Hashem, with the help of God. I want to bless all of you guys out there. I want to bless our wonderful producer, Yo. I want to thank the technology for working. I want to thank the land of Israel for holding us, and I want to bless you out there and thank Hashem for the opportunity to broadcast to you from the good land, from the land of Israel, and hope that you not only believe in the return of Israel, but also believe in Hashem and in His Torah and get closer to His Torah. And there's so many great ways to get closer to godly knowledge. Just today in the house, we hosted an amazing mother and daughter who lived their life in America with their non-Jews, with closeness to Hashem. And they follow this show and other shows like ours that create original content from the land of Israel to strengthen themselves. See here, like, for example, Brian writes, I'm not Jewish. My wife Naomi is. but I try to go Crown Heights Chabad every time I'm at our place in Brooklyn. God bless you. Brian, thank you so much. And that's exactly what I mean. There are Jews, there are non-Jews, there are people from all over the world that are part of the story of Israel, including Liz. Thank you, sir. Blessings from Austin, Texas. Thank you very much. And bless you folks wherever you are. Be strong, stay connected. And there's other ways to stay connected. For example, you can, well, we saw some good stuff today. We saw Stickers of Meaning, and we saw Adina to do events here in the land of Israel. We saw the Hebron Fund. So those are great ways to connect. And you can connect with us through buymeacoffee.com/Yishai. That's awesome. You can beautify the land of Israel through our projects at fightforisrael.org, fightforisrael.org, including buying tractors for farmers, beautifying the land, renovation projects, beautiful stuff. And of course, you can like, subscribe, comment, become a member, and also check out the awesome shirts and hats and cool water bottles and cool gear that we have at Yishai Fleischer TV and our YouTube store there. So lots of good stuff. And of course, pray towards Jerusalem, go big and go home. That's what we preach here. And thank you for spending part of your Sunday with us. God bless you wherever you are. Blessings from the land of blessings. Thanks again, and shalom.